Robert Dubois. He's in prison for putting Superman in the ICU with a kryptonite bullet.
I'm not joining your suicide squad.
We'll see.
My court date is coming up. And Miss Waller said maybe you could help me out.
You're flexing in my door!
Everyone stand down.
Miss Waller, I don't...
Stand down!
I wouldn't take such extreme measures if this mission went more important than you could possibly imagine. Are you in or out? Good. Let's meet your team.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Budget Enthusiast, and today we're going to talk about The Suicide Squad. Now, The Suicide Squad is a brand new movie directed by James Gunn, who did the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. For those of you who don't know about him, he did do those. Now, the special thing about this particular movie is this is right after James Gunn was fired from Marvel. So once he was fired, DC scooped him up and was like, hey, bro, we're going to give you some creative freedom, and we want you to do our Suicide Squad. So they went forward with that project, and I feel like he knocked it out of the park. So one thing about James Gunn, some people like his humor, some people don't. I know a few people who don't like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies just because of the weird humor that's in there. And one person in particular, too, you know who you are, that doesn't really like the Guardians movies. But I love his humor, and I like a lot of his previous movies that he's done. So this was right up my alley. Everything about this was great to me. There were some missteps as far as characters that I felt should have been in the movie a little bit longer, or should have survived, if you will. But other than that, I feel that this movie was great. So a main thing about this movie is the fact that it's kind of a soft reboot, yet it continues from the previous one. Even though they don't really mention the previous events as much as you would think that they would for it being kind of a sequel, this is definitely more of a reboot. And like from the get-go, you can tell the tone is just a little bit different. The first movie had more of like a music video feel because it was done by David Ayer. So, you know, he used to do music videos at one point. But James Gunn takes a completely different approach as far as like the style of it. I really, 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 really like it. I really like it a lot. This goes up as far as one of my favorite DCEU movies. May not be. I will have to watch my other favorite ones out of the DCEU again, and then so I can make a complete list. And stay tuned. I might actually do a video about that. But I feel like this movie is exactly what DC needed, because for some reason Marvel tends to do their villains like super crappy, while DC tends to, in this particular one, makes their villains a lot better. Like, I really enjoy how they did the Suicide Squad. It makes me feel like these villains are cooler than the characters, the heroes that we've seen so far in the DCEU. Like, I mean, no joke. I feel like this Suicide Squad is way cooler than the Justice League. Even though the Snyder Cut was actually really, really good, I feel like I personally cared more about these villains than I did our titular heroes like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and all them. So, I don't know. I really like this movie. I've seen it twice so far. I saw it on Saturday, and I watched it again on HBO Max with my family on Sunday. I thoroughly enjoy it. One thing I will say, the action sequences are actually really well done. They're crazy, zany, over the top, and ultra violent. Like, I'm talking about super violent. So if you were planning on taking your kids to it, I mean, if you're not the type of parent that allows a lot of foul language and violence, I wouldn't take my kids to see this. I grew up in a household where this was totally acceptable. Like, this was like everyday movie watching in my household. So you do what you got to do. Parents, you do what you want. But I will say it was super violent. And this is exactly what James Gunn does. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this movie. It's called Super. It's almost like Kick-Ass, but it's a different take on the superhero trope, and it is ultra violent, it is raunchy, it is amazing. Highly recommend it. It's done also by James Gunn. So this dude is just a crazy, weird dude, and he has a lot of crazy, weird things going on in this movie, and the dialogue is hilarious. They crack me up so much. And shout out to my boy King Shark. King Shark surprised me. I didn't know how they were going to portray him. I know I saw in the trailer they portrayed him as the idiot, but I didn't know that he would be so lovable. Like, I thought he was just going to be annoying, but I personally love King Shark in this particular setup. Now, King Shark is portrayed differently in the comic books, of course, but you also need comic relief. And Harley couldn't be the main ditzy person in this one. Of course, she definitely is, but King Shark takes the cake. He is definitely the ditzy, comic relief, lovable goofball character out of this one. And I actually wanted to see him survive. Like that, everybody else could have died. I just needed King Shark to be okay. So with all that being said, I really like this movie. I recommend going to see this movie in the theater. It's a nice looking movie. It is filmed 100% in IMAX. So if you have an IMAX theater close to you, I recommend going to see it there. I watched it in the Dolby Theater. It still looked great. It actually took up the entire screen because it was formatted for IMAX. So it's going to fill up whatever screen you're watching, whether it's on HBO Max or the big screen. So I recommend going to see it. If you have an IMAX theater, check it out there. If not, see it in the best format you can. It's definitely something you want to see in the theaters though. So this gets the budget enthusiast 2 thumbs up. I really, really, really enjoyed this movie. Love everything about it. And one last thing about the movie as a whole. I really thought it was weird that we have Deadshot from the first one, and now we have, what was his name? A Bloodsport in this one. So they're pretty much the same dude. I mean, in the comics they're 2 separate people, and here they're 2 separate people, but I guess they couldn't get Will Smith back, so they needed a character that's very close to that, so he could be the leader, if you will. It's kind of weird. It's almost like they should have just got Will Smith to play Deadshot again, but it's all right. It's all right. Idris did a great job. He did his thing as usual, So yes, go see this movie as quickly as you can before it leaves the theater or HBO Max. And also, I just wanted to show this too. This is my Harley Quinn statue here. It's pretty dope. I got this as a Christmas gift, well, a Valentine's Day gift one year. So, and it even has a little cork. You can pop the cork out. It's pretty cool. And it's like an actual real string. And this right here is a Suicide Squad comic book that they gave us there at the AMC. So I had to go ask for it though. Like, the dude saw my ticket. Like, he scanned my ticket, and he didn't even say, "Oh, here you go, bruh. Here's your comic book." I saw a comic book laying on the floor because people are trifling, and I was like, "Oh, wait a minute, I want my comic book." So the dude was like, "Yeah, go." He didn't even care. He's like, "Just go get in the box. Just do it, whatever." So yes, you got a comic book from the AMC about the Suicide Squad. It's I guess the AMC did this with Black Panther as well. So I have a Black Panther comic book from the first time, when I went to see Black Panther in the theater. So that's it for this review here, but appreciate y'all watching and listening. Remember, go see this movie. 2 thumbs up. Go see this movie at the theater. It's definitely worth it. I liked it. Not everybody's gonna like James Gunn humor, so I respect that, but I personally liked it. I think it's great. So go see it. 2 thumbs up. And don't forget, stay safe out there. Peace.
Where's my dad?
I want to get you out of real life.
I'm going to get you out of here alive.
Ratatouille, what do you got?
Bird.
Now it. Stay off the comm.
The budget enthusiast. Boy DV. The budget enthusiast.